Welcome to a new Energy Crew podcast. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in on this Saturday. It is, actually, whenever you're listening to this, I got a live stream right now on Instagram. I'm doing this to get out of my comfort zone, to challenge my imposter syndrome, and to be uncomfortable. I mean, we always tell that's where you grow when you're uncomfortable, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to test myself, push myself, be uncomfortable, and to speak to a potential live audience and to you out there listening wherever you're tuning in from without doing too many filler words. All right, so this is what we're going to do. All right, this episode, it's going to be kind of a reflective episode on kind of what's happening right now with two of these networking groups I did, and kind of I'm going to talk about previous episodes and kind of what I brought in, what I applied from previous episodes that I talk about, and kind of how it elevated the different crews, whether it's Crue Club or Exec Crew, and kind of where we're at today, and how it kind of got pep in my step. So for those out there kind of doing the same thing, staying in the same routine, living in 2023, falling back in the standard, what we're used to, the habits that we're used to, these are just ways to kind of change your routine by little things, putting a little bit more focus, and that just makes the biggest change. So again, it got to a point, I guess the episodes where I guess this all ties into all the Crue stuff. I mean, I always talk about kind of more theory stuff, and I don't talk about like real applicable stuff, kind of what I've done. I've had episodes on here where I kind of, these short episodes where I talk about value added sales. What is the true value of your product? People talk about value like it's a Happy Meal, but that's not value. Value is the upside to your product and what it does for someone. It's not how much someone can get it for as cheap of a cost. All right. This is going to be kind of tying into trusting the process, not following the plan. Whenever you trust the process with something, that's when you kind of plans. I always feel plans are great to have, but I think they always leave a blinder on you. They kind of keep you in your lane. They don't allow you to flourish. I think whenever you trust the process, that allows you to flourish. That allows you to get after it and actually achieve the goals that you want to. All right. The third thing is low cost sales, getting out of that rut, because with Crue Club, I know the value with Crue Club. I know the value in Exec Crew. And this isn't a low sales thing because the value is there, and I'm proud of that. And that's knowing your value and your product's value and your service value and being proud of that. All right. And it's also about executing vision and also not listening to your imposter syndrome. All right. So I guess this is a real world example, a real case example of kind of all of those episodes. And also I keep on forgetting to mention this. Also the fever episode. Does your brand have the fever? Did the crews have the fever? Did my companies have the fever? Again, that's a marketing tactic. Check that episode out. We're going to kind of get into this. So this is a real world case example on kind of two Crue Clubs, two Connection Crew companies that I have. The first is called Crue Club. That's operator, producer, focused network events, invitational, only membership, yada, yada, all that small networking events. Again, when it comes to networking, quality over quantity. All right. And the second networking group I have is called Exec Crew. And that is a mastermind executive development program, limited membership based. And I'm going to talk about how me focusing on the value and really pouring value into these two groups, these two organizations, is really allowing it to level up, to elevate up. And honestly, it allows me to have more pride in the value and hold the true value's worth when it comes to membership cost. All right. Because a lot of times it's very easy to sharpen the pencil or look at your cost or to reduce your value just to get the result you want. But I think if you put more value in your products and service or whatever you're offering, and you hold your price and you know the value, and the value truly is there, you will get buy-in that way. So again, it got towards the Look, I'm gonna talk about Crew Club. I'm gonna go over Crew Club. Crew Club, the operator, producer, focus network, and events. We've had 120 of them, and they've all been great. Every single discussion has been so impactful. Learning about the industry, energy, different points of view. It's been phenomenal. However, again, as an entrepreneurial, I, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I'm gonna say business, as a business owner, and if I'm doing the same thing over and over, it's one of those things where I need to find value out of it. Okay. And if I need to find value out of it, that means my customers do too. And if I'm finding value, my customers do, that's great. But also I need to find it enjoyable. So Crew Club got to a point where towards the end of 2023, the attendance was still there on the operator side. However, and the member side. However, it felt like it got a little stale. It felt like around the end of October, the Crew Club events, they were still enjoyable. However, for me, it felt like, okay, I've been around these and I feel like there's something we can do here. Either I'm at a point where either I can pour some attention or, as my wife advised, pour some TLC, or I can just say, hey, look, that was a great experience. I've expanded my network. I've got some great friendships along the way. I'm done. So rather than take the second option with kind of throwing the towel and just kind of leave things as is, I applied the value added. So I started kind of assessing what is the value of Crew Club events. So I kind of broke it down. Number one is bringing people together in an intimate setting where kind of these walls are dropped. People can communicate. People can connect. People can connect with each other. So that was the value. And also the second value was the conversations we're having. I put a newsletter out called Behind the Drawworks, kind of summarizing the conversations we're having around the table. Chatham House rules, taking away all the identifying information, and it got over. It's over. We're at over, I think, 11 or 1,200 subscribers. So I saw that there was value in the conversations. Realize that. So let's look at this: the values and the connections and the conversations. How can I add more value to the events? How can I elevate these events and kind of again increase value and increase interest in them? So I looked at what else? I looked at the value add. So in 2024, I've kind of historically I probably would have been real eager to chase membership. I've been real eager to kind of lock things down for that financial security for me to kind of move forward with Crew Club. However, that didn't happen this go around. And rather than me chase the membership, I decided to up the value. So where rather than have outbound questions about Crew Club or outbound interest, like, hey, are you interested in doing this? I want to create inbound. I want to create this thing, these events to be so valuable, so much good information being shared around the table that people want to get involved in this. And that's exactly what I feel that I'm doing right now. So look, if people are going to be spending time away from their families to attend these events, I want to make them impactful for them too. So we introduced topic discussions at our tables, and each one is going to be a various topic led by guest facilitators. So I've asked very intelligent people, very great people, friends of mine, connections of mine, to come in and to lead these industry insightful discussions, to just kind of lead these conversations. And what that's doing, number one, I've increased the value already by having more curated, more specific. Okay. I'm trusting the process of building that value. All right. If I had a plan of having X number of members by January 1, I would have gotten that. However, I would probably reduce the price, work some things around, and delivered a subpar experience for people. So again, I'm trusting the process of building one of the most valuable networks out there, one of the most valuable communities out there in the operator and producer space. All right. The other episode that I'm discussing right now is the value added sales, the low cost sales. I'm not shying away from the value from the membership price. Normally, historically, I probably would have. Had the low cost sales mentality. I just got to get people in. I got to get people in. No, that's not necessarily my focus anymore. My focus is adding value. So if I add value and I and I've heard the feedback of the connections that are made at Crew events. I've heard the whether it's the connections made, the follow up meetings, the deal flow, the opportunities uncovered. I know the value that's there, so I'm okay with holding. It's I still think it is a reduced cost for what the experience is. However, I'm comfortable with that, but I'm not. I'm holding that, and I have pride in that, and I know the value of it. So when I'm discussing it, it's not something that I'm historically I was very timid to bring up. Now I'm very I'm this now it's one of those things where it's more matter of fact. It's kind of a bargain. It's like, hey, you're getting this from this. Think about the value from that one connection at the table. Think about the value of being at that table with all these different people, engaging conversations, establishing these genuine connections so you can follow up after. And potentially, it's funny, I've got people from these events that now go to concerts together, operator and of service side, now form friendships that go to concerts together because the genuine connection is there. So the value is there, not just on a professional level, but on a personal level too. All right. Fever. I had to discuss what the fever is. And for those that don't know what fever is, and you have your own business, or even if you're building your own personal branding content out there, check out the episode about fever. I started marketing the fever. What's the feeling, the exposure, the value, the relevance? And start repeating what the experience is at Crew Club to get the word out there. I can't do one post. Get one post, it gets a couple eyes. If I do five, if I do 7 posts, that's a lot more eyes. So again, repeating, telling the story. All right. So where we're sitting at today, we have some awesome, very interesting industry insightful conversations. They are filling up fast. And honestly, previously I would have worried about certain aspects that I'm not worried about now. Why? Because I know the value that's there. And I'm excited about it. I'm proud about it. I'm proud of what we're putting out there. I'm proud about where it's going, and I'm proud about the direction. Again, that's trusting the process, not the plan. That's not doing the low cost sales. That's doing the value added approach, and that's discussing the fever. And that's executing on value added approach. All right, so I'm trying to see if there's any other notes I have from that. So. No, I'll bring this up now. So eventually, I've noticed this too. Whenever you do start adding additional value to your product or service, and that's kind of what you're focused on. You're adding value, communicating the value you're adding. You start doing that over and over. Eventually, you're going to pick your head up and realize that you have a completely different product or completely different service. At least that's my experience. What I just experienced with the Crew Club and Exec Crew. I put so much value added experiences that I would find interesting into both these networking groups. That is completely different experience now. Historically, it'd be Crew Club. Hey, let's get together. Let's just break bread. Let's get to know each other. Yada yada yada. Now it is raising the bar. We are getting new people at the table. We are getting higher exposure at different levels around the table and throughout the industry as well. And it's more targeted, it's more curated, it's more valuable. People are going to walk away not only with better connections, but also more insight. All right. So now it went from this genuine connection to now it's knowledge sharing. All right. So now it's a completely different level. All right. And that's valuable. All right, Exec Crew. Exec Crew started off as, hey, let's do quarterly meetups, and it's going to be a loose network of executives and founders getting together and all that stuff. That has dramatically changed to what it is. So with Exec Crew, it was like, what other things could I do besides just connecting people, connecting executives once a quarter? Well, I started to say, let's get for genuine connections. We need to get together more. So I started doing that. I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to be in the room with these people and trying to guide them and build them professionally and personally, I probably need to get a certificate. So I got a coaching certificate. I started doing so. Then not only that, I started kind of putting like an agenda together, what I want to do at these monthly meetups now. So now we're doing a monthly meetup. Now we have in-person coaching sessions. Now we have a weekly call-in if people want to call in. So pretty much it's the power of we have made Exec Crew a so start doing this, start adding. It's to the point now where I actually kind of I went to Chat GPT and I said, hey, look, I have this networking group. It's membership. It's agenda. Here's the agenda. This is what we're going to be doing in the meetings. I can't share that because that's confidential information. This is what we do in the meetings. These are the goals that we're going to be setting. This is the purpose. This is the networking purposes and the collaboration side of things. How would you define this? So originally, this would just been a once a month a quarterly meeting of executives and founders. However, it has rapidly uh, turned into a so I typed this into Chat GPT. I said, so what would you call this? I said, based on the information providing me, you have an executive development program. So let's think about that. So, from what initially started off as quarterly meetings to an actual executive development program, not just a program that I could take with the members there, but this is something that I can actually go to different corporations and actually make mini exec crews with their boards or with their C suites or whatever that looks like with their teams. So because I paused and I realized, look, this I can't just bring people in and have them connect. I have to add value. All right. I have to trust the process of that. This will be an impactful and a powerful group of people. All right. I got to trust that process. All right. And I had to do a little bit of reduced cost for this just because it was a new concept, a new idea. However, because Exec Crew 1.0 is full, we're doing a 1.1 in July. And because it's full, I know the value is there. And honestly, from that first meeting, I'm hearing the collaboration, I'm hearing the discussions, I'm hearing the help and the support that's going around that table. I see the value there. So I'm not shying away from what the membership's going to be, which I still think is a deal in July. And not only that, it's the fever. Now is my time where I have to apply, and I'm working with Midnight Marketing about this, a third party marketing company. But now I'm applying the fever. What do members expect out of Exec Crew? How are members in Exec Crew? How do they perceive the value of connections differently than those that are out? So now it's my job to tell the fever to put the fever on Exec Crew and tell that story. So again, I mean, this is one of those things, I guess, all in all, the things that I've discussed previously in these podcasts really do apply to Crew Club, a genuine, a casual gathering of people to just kind of, shoot the bull and to connect on a genuine level because I applied the value, because I applied the fever, because I trusted the process and I put value into that. Now it's a completely different thing. We have guest speakers, we have sold out, selling out events, and now we have eyes on different levels that we didn't have before. Excuse me. Exec Crew, same thing. What started out as one thing, but because the value was injected in it, because I wanted to make this such a valuable thing for its members, we now have a program. Think about that. We have a program. I think it's so cool now that like I wake up and like I don't know, I'm proud. I'm happy. It's cool waking up saying, "Wow, I have a mastermind executive development program." That just sounds cool. Not only that, it's something where it can be packaged and taken place and help other people, help other teams grow and connect and kind of build and elevate each other. So anyway, I'm excited. I've obviously talked too much. My throat's dry. I'm drinking water, drinking coffee right now. This is the fourth one we've done back to back. But again, I want to thank everyone out there. And again, Crew Club 2024, Exec Crew 2024. I feel like I have found my stride and I'm eager to do this. I'm eager to help people with Exec Crew achieve their goals, get out of their box and help people with their self-limiting beliefs. With Crew Club, I'm eager to kind of get that knowledge shared and spread. I'm eager to kind of get the newsletter up and running. I guess with 2024, I'm excited. And I'm excited because I got bored. I'm excited because through that boredom, instead of kind of having my radar everywhere, like where's the other opportunity, I dialed in and focused. So rather than being one of those blades of grass that kind of loops around and finds that chain link fence to grow up, I decided to plant myself, stay centered, stay focused, add value. And now is the time to give both of these groups the fever. You can check out that podcast on the previous Energy Crew podcast. Anyway, I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. I think I've talked enough today. If you're enjoying this, please head over to Apple, wherever you're tuning in from. Like, share, comment, talk about this. If you're enjoying this, and check out the previous episodes too. But I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. Y'all have a great rest of the day, week, night, whatever, whenever you're listening to this, and put your energy in the right places. Y'all be good.